Hi, Shane.
Hey, Marcus. How are you?
Fine.
Good. How's Corona treating you?
I think I have a friend of a friend is affected. Not I know of none directly, but it's affecting me in the sense that I read news.
Yeah.
How is it on your side?
That's just working from home and having to wear a mask everywhere I go, and
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they're following the science.
I try not to enter into the details of that. I know enough people who got crazy by trying to understand the science, and I think I think the data is terrible, and dealing with bad data is always difficult.
Yeah, I wonder if they're reporting the right numbers. I mean, they're
right. Yeah.
They're freaking out about case numbers, but
yeah.
You don't see death counts going up. So it's frustrating.
I agree, and we are locked. We are in a lockdown of a highly political dimension. It's by data. It's not a data science problem. It's a political problem.
Yes, it seems more like a politics than it does science.
Yeah. As in war, often. I mean, my mother, who's not affected, said to me, "Well, I understand what she wanted to say, and very often when I tell that, other people start to complain that what does that mean?" But in a sense, it's highly political as a war is. And if you would be completely rational, there would be no war. And she said, "We will hopefully never appreciate a war. So this is our share of political disaster." And in that sense, I agree. It's not a war, but it's very political. And if you happen to be in a war, what good is it to say? But let's be rational. Let's be friends. We do not have to fight. You're in a war. Full stop.
Right. It's a political war.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to your new president-elect.
Well, yeah. Well, it's not done yet, but
no,
everybody keeps talking like it is. But and probably it will be Joe Biden. But
I have a bet running.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Civil war, yes or no?
No, there won't be a civil war. The media would love to see a civil war, but
my friend.
No, you just got to let the the Constitution's written this way. Yeah. You can challenge the results. Let's let the process work. If there are things that need to be investigated, let's investigate them. If there's corruption, let's find it. Let's look at it. And if they find nothing, well, then we have a new president. So that's what it is. So that's the way it was written. And they keep trying to say Trump's not going to leave office. What's he going to do? Sit there with a gun behind his desk and come and get me? He'll leave when if he's not elected. It's not. People are just making such a big deal out of this. I don't know. That's my opinion. But enough about politics. Is it just me and you today, Marcus?
Maybe it's 2 minutes on my clock.
9:02, 9:03.
Maybe the other had the old. It's in my calendar. It was till yesterday that the 5:30 appointment, or no, the event was 5:30, and it changed only today. And I wondered why it's not changing, and it finally changed. So maybe for other people, On the on the Google Calendar is still 5:30.
My Google Calendar showed 9. I don't know. I wasn't watching to see when it changed, but I got an alert last week or 2 weeks ago that they changed it.
I got an alert too, but my entry, so the calendar entry itself was still at
9:30.
30, and the but that changed only recently. So I tried to act to well, maybe that's the reason. Anyhow, from my side, I have two things, which would be your suggestion is very, very good. I sent you an email you might have received.
I did. I got that. So the multiprocessing, turning it off worked for you.
Very well, very well. And I found no reason not to switch over to multiprocessing false, which is an improvement of a very huge scale. I wanted to profile that, but I had no time. So I will do that. This will be my next task, to profile the very improved test dot version execution, which is now in a sec. It's gone in a second. It's from 7 seconds down to 1 second.
Yeah, it is a lot faster. I'd be interested to see what problems you see.
Sorry?
Maybe you're not using any of the things that have problems with the multiprocessing.
What are these?
Well, from what I understood, there was an issue with the job scheduler. So you might keep an eye on the. I think there's a folder. Let me see where it is. You might start seeing jobs building up in a directory, in one of the SALT directories.
Okay. Yes, it's in var something.
Maybe, yeah. Trying to see if I can find it here. SALT. Okay, it's in saltconf minion.d.
Yep.
Right now, mine just shows a schedule.conf.
Right. It's always created under underscore schedule.conf.
Yes. Yes. So you might want to keep an eye on that. And
what could happen there?
I don't know. I remember that it couldn't delete the jobs. It couldn't remove them after it was done or something. It's been like 4 years since I've looked at this, so I don't remember exactly. I remember it having something to do with jobs. That's what I remember. And it could have been fixed in the last 4 years, or it could have been made worse. I don't know.
Well, I found no problem at all. And when I looked into the issues, I saw an entry saying multi-processing true regarded dangerous.
An old issue, or it still is?
I don't remember. I wanted to look up that again. I wanted to look it up now. SALT. Okay. Oh, Jesus, I have to sign in. This will be. So multiprocessing returns 45 open issues and 476 closed. No, it doesn't seem to be an open issue. Yes. And so I still have to continue testing. And while I tested, I found a timeout error. So this was run. I'm on 3001, release 3001, and when the client cannot reach the salt master, which always happens when you are not logged in into the company network, it's impossible to contact the server. So this 3000.1 minion starts to generate a timeout error. So I need to check whether that exists in, what is the most recent release, 3001.1?
3002.1, and I just packaged 3002.2 today. We're hoping to have that out by Wednesday.
Oh, okay. So I found it in 3001 nothing, and I would like to go into the more recent releases and open an issue then.
This was related to multi-processing off?
No.
No.
In fact, this is with the it's not affected by the yeah. So all my I have rolled out 3001 in the company. This is with what's it called? Code page 8000 something, which is Unicode. So this is good news. We have found no problem with Unicode. This is a patched version of 3000.1. Yeah.
Okay.
And this creates, and I have not noted before that it when the minion is like online but cannot reach the master, which can happen because people turn on their PCs and do not log in to VPN. Yeah, then this should be in the 0MQ should be like stopping. So it should trying to send out to reach out to the master. If it doesn't reach, it should hang there forever. So something has changed, and I think it has to do. I read other issues, and something is restarted, and maybe something was fixed, and nobody thought about minions not able to reach the master.
So does if you restart the minion service, then does it reach the master?
No, in fact, this could be the case that if the minion service should not restart, because if it's not reaching out to this to the salt master, it should wait there forever. And it seems that there's a timeout and it's being restarted. And this, I have found that, oh no, it's related to minion ping, by the way. It's not related to multiprocessing, but my minions have a minion ping 50 minutes. And each 50 minutes, it creates a timeout now. So what you could do is configure, I will set up a minion, and it requires minion ping.
So it's not this where it tries to connect to the master. When it first starts.
I don't think so, because I see it each 50 minutes. So what are you seeing here is you're doing connecting, you started up your minion, and why it's not reaching out to the master? Because
well, I have the master turned off. I don't have the master up. I was just saying it's not this. It's
no. It's not a time. Oh, in fact, it's it's a stack trace ending in a timeout error.
So salt I'm just trying to find what setting you're talking about.
Well, you can configure your minion to minion ping 1 or minion ping 2.
Is this a master setting?
No, it's a client setting. Minion underscore ping. Oh, this is my bug. I closed it, by the way. It's a closed bug because I wanted to make sure. But this is the configuration, and I closed it because it had nothing to do with multiprocessing. And I had a troublesome weekend, so I had to close. And then I had a troublesome Monday and Tuesday, and so I will reopen that.
So that's the config setting.
That's config setting. Put it into your minion config and start the minion if you want.
You sure that's a minion setting?
That's strange. And if you just look for ping and not minion ping. That's very strange.
Maybe this is what you meant to set. Ping
it's
interval.
Ping interval, that's right, but I'm using minion. Let me have a look.
This is the minion config document.
Right. So why I'm thinking. This is good.
Maybe it's, I've seen undocumented stuff before. Let me see if there's a.
Minion, no, sorry, it's ping underscore interval. I'm totally confused. Ping underscore interval. So this is why I closed the issue, because I was doing it in a hurry. Okay. So it's ping interval.
So you had that set, and
it goes into a stack trace. You can try it on your machine now.
Okay. If
you cannot reach the master, then what version is it of that? This is a 2000.
Oh. I'm running off the code, so
good.
I'm on a branch. Let me change that over.
Fix when you are.
You're on 3001?
Yep. Oh, so I can see how you work. That's interesting. You do not use the git bash, you use the. Okay, this removes the caches. Okay.
Yeah. And then since I removed those, I have to reinstall over here.
Can you start the service from the pip install environment dot?
You can't work with service. You're doing everything from a command line.
Right, but then it wouldn't respect the ping interval.
Well, I can start the minion, but it runs in a command window instead of as a service.
Okay, then it will run in the window and try to ping you in a minute or two.
Yeah, so let me go start my master here.
In fact, don't start the master.
Well, doesn't it need to come up? I don't know that it'll ever hit that code if it doesn't. So I'll bring it up, and then once it's up, then I'll kill my master.
You mean the server? The salt master. Don't think. No, the minion will, without it tries to. The ping interval is independent from the master.
Right, but the minion has to come up first, right?
Yeah, maybe. Right. Yeah. I never thought of that. Yeah, that may be correct. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I wonder if my master is.
Where do you run your master? On a Linux machine? Or?
No, I have it up on an AWS box.
AWS box?
AWS, I have a VM up on AWS that I just have running all the time. But it looks like, I wonder if they moved it. They shut it down.
So this is not on your PC. No, and this is not, this is the real AWS. And it's not running locally.
No. I could run one locally here if this doesn't work.
I tried with WSL and it works.
Cool. You can do it on Windows too. So let me open up another. So, all right. So if we want to do this, we need to do some modifying of the salt config.
Yeah, just one line. You can try it. You can try it with a non-existing. Oh, localhost. Maybe.
Should be pip installed. Oh, that doesn't get created now. Okay, so let's see. We gotta do more.
Yeah. You need to create the master.
Okay, that got removed.
Oh.
So on Windows, it doesn't even create the binary anymore. So that means I gotta help a guy on. So this is Windows. That means we'll also need, I'm just gonna add them all here. Salt call, no, salt, just salt. Sound right? And we're doing salt key, okay.
That would be salt master, isn't it?
Oh, we just need to copy this stuff. That's what I need to do. And salt master. Did I mess that other one up, or is it still good up here? I don't care about, do I need those? I don't think I need those, but okay. Okay.
So the master is built, wasn't built also for Windows, but it's not anymore.
So it used to be in the setup.py.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we would build the installer, we would remove the binary for master and salt key. But then Pedro updated the setup.py so that it doesn't even build the binary. So now we should have a binary. Yeah. Okay. So we got us a master running. It's master on Windows, dude. Cutting edge, bleeding edge technology. Okay. And then this salt minion should be able to talk to it. But...
then you have to accept the key and so forth.
Oh yeah, that too. So I'll need another. Keep saying it can't find a directory proc. Missing configuration file. Okay. Oh, yeah. So I'll probably have to delete the key.
Mm.
The minion master pub so that it'll see the new master. All right, so now we need to open a new window and salt key.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I need to turn multiprocessing off.
Terrible. This is all stupid. Oh. This would return in a split second.
So see, it gets the command.
Yeah.
There we go. So I wonder if it's timing out. Okay, so you're saying, so we need to modify the minion. And add in a ping interval.
Right.
To what?
So 1.
Is that a minute?
2. That's a minute. Let make it 2. Maybe it's better to make it 2 because it's maybe too fast. Okay. So save, run, close, start again. Oh yeah. Interesting. Okay, it's good to see how this works. You could look into the event cache here.
Okay, here so now we wait for it now, or do I need to kill the master?
Can you look into the state event or something? What it's called?
Watch the event bus.
Event bus, right?
I don't think we installed salt run, so I'd have to modify the setup.py again. Oh. Will the stack trace show up on the minion, or does it?
It shows up in the log file of the minion.
Well, we should see it here in debug.
Yes, right. Then. It should, in fact, it should show here. So in 2 minutes, that's a long time when you wait for 2 minutes. But we would see it in the event bus coming up. Otherwise, we wouldn't know. Oh, maybe it should also log in debug. It should also say that it's going to ping. I don't know whether that's going to be.
So should I stop the master?
Yeah.
Okay, so now when it does its thing, Was there anything else you want to talk about? Because I'm going to have to cut out on this. I've got a dental appointment.
Okay.
At night at 10.
That's
So this is dang, what happened? Mazers run set ping to stop the master.
You can have a look at the stack trace. You found also the closed issue when you Googled.
I found your closed issue.
Yeah, maybe this tells you something already.
Well, I'm just going by what you said.
I mean, when you look into the stack trace, maybe you can see what it's saying.
Right.
No, I mean, does it tell you something when you look into the stack trace? And
in the one you posted?
This one, yeah. So it's tornado all over the place, and then.
Yeah, this is all 0MQ. It's the transport. It's outside of my expertise.
Okay.
But if we can get this to do it. Oh, see, I didn't get a stack trace.
We didn't know, and we have, it's just a timeout error. So the timeout error is, there is a timeout error, but it's not a stack trace. It's strange. And what is in the log files? Oh, the log files made, yeah.
Wow, that's a big log file. Probably should have cleared it out.
No, it's old. Here's one insecure, but it's not the stack trace. Well, then this is why I closed it. I need to make sure that it's not by my modification that this error comes up. But as it is a 0MQ problem, I doubt that I have just added the Unicode, and I cannot think of how this affects 0MQ. But you do not see a stack trace. But it was very interesting to see what you're doing. But if you're in love with your dentist, I do not want to. I do not want to hold you back. That's very interesting to see.
Was there something else that we need to talk about before I go?
Yeah, you like a month ago or something, you sent me. You asked me why did I. There is a service manager and SSM options which are missing, and I added the
into the MSI.
The MSI, and I will change that. I will go away from the from how I added it directly to the registry, and I will replace that with the NSSM command and adding all the other NSSM commands as soon as I find time. So it's on my. You can note that here. The MSI should replicate the Nullsoft. Yep. All the options. Yep. Well, it already uses it. It just. I think this also explains why I see logging errors in the system. The Windows event log. This might. I think that's related. So I see Windows event logs, which you won't see, and it's because these options are missing. This is why I want to. This is why.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I think, yeah. What is your impression? So the Windows working group isn't really very frequented. I do not follow anymore Slack. What do you think? In which direction goes Salt on Windows? Community growing, not growing?
Well, it's interesting. We have people that are interested, that use Salt on Windows, and when they have an issue, then they're very active, and then once their issue's fixed, then they disappear, and they're not really interested in directing where Windows goes, where Salt goes on Windows. Okay. You've probably been the most consistent member. David, he's pretty new. He's only been coming the last couple of times. Sometimes we would get that guy from Australia.
Isn't David? David isn't from Australia.
Was he from Australia?
I think so.
I thought he was Europe somewhere. I thought he was.
No. David is definitely from Australia.
He was telling me he was like Irish. I thought his name was Irish.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
So is he Irish and living in Australia, or is he?
Well, anyhow, David was active. That's true. Well, I think the very good news is you put that on top, that multiprocessing worked very, very well. That means it's impressive. It's no longer hugging up the CPU for 7 seconds. It's like you do not see any impact at all.
Yeah, it's always been fast. When multiprocessing is off, Windows is faster than Linux.
Okay.
On returning test.pings, pings, but you may see some other erroneous issues when you're doing some longer running states. Maybe you don't do longer running states and you just need to run some simple things, and having multiprocessing off in that case will work fine for you. But
one thing I would, long running reminds me that there is, on the Salt event bus, I see a command like get jobs, or when you issue a state on a minion, then the Salt master tries to ask the minion in an interval how the state is doing. So it's creating a state, and it's getting monitored by the Salt master. I would like to make that interval much longer, because my states are running. I don't really care. I do not have a job cache. I would like to deactivate the how is the state on that minion interval.
Okay, I think that is it's a timeout setting. You might try this one or this one.
Okay, gather job time.
That sounds more like what you're talking about. But this one is...
What does it mean when the client is requesting information about running jobs?
Well, I think that's the master. I don't know that might be wrong.
It could be, we are on the Salt master configuration here.
Yep, this is master. So the way Salt works is it'll send a command down to the minion to run. And then, like you said, it says, hey, is this still running?
Right.
And the minion says, yep, I'm still working on it. And then it'll keep checking, right? So that's what I thought this timeout did, this normal timeout. And when I'm on a minion and I do this -T30 right here.
Right, you're changing the timeout.
That's the timeout that I'm changing. It's letting it wait a little longer before it checks, because sometimes the minion doesn't reply within that 5 seconds, and then that's when you get a minion did not return, no response. though the minion will eventually reply on the event bus. You just won't
Yes.
see it here.
Yes. This is why I'm, oh, I have another wish. It's too crazy. So I will do for a gather job timeout. You can copy that into, no, let me write that here. Salary gather job timeout. I have it here. And
I can Slack it to you here.
Perfect. And there's one thing. I think what I'm doing is in fact, because sometimes the minion is, or no, on this, I put all the replies from the event bus in a Redis cache. And I think this can be done much more easily. I have a runner doing that for me, but I think SaltStack itself has an option that all the events go into Redis, isn't it?
Yeah, a returner. Is it a returner?
Maybe. So there is a Redis returner, something. Yeah. So should that work? And does the Salt Master set up a Redis by itself, or do I have to procure a Redis? How do I say which Redis I mean?
So if you go into this, this tells you
how to do it,
how to set it up. I'll Slack this to you also.
Okay, then I will experiment with that. But then perfect. From my perspective, the story goes like this. This company will divert its interests in peer-to-peer into that American company I told you last time about. The Salt itself is regarded as useful and may continue. So that's interesting news. Though I had to be very busy to set up alliances and to discuss people and explain. But it might be that this small company is continuing in Salt because it's a very powerful tool. So I could concentrate, in my life will become more easy in a way because I had to deal with all the peer-to-peer problems and no longer. Setting up a very efficient master, or that the minion is much more efficient, that's very good news for me. And it comes also at the right time. The Salt master, I need also to reduce complexity because at some point I will have an audit from colleagues telling me, okay, so we need to set up a team and less code, the better. So I have a self-written Redis returner and I see how I can slash that with that thing here. And Salt is actually not very big code. So it's like some 500, 1,000 lines of code. This can be taken over by a team. And this means we will continue with Salt, maybe.
Okay.
So I wanted to tell you how the story goes here. But then, yeah, who knows? We wanted to set up a service contract 2 years ago with SaltStack. We got in contact with one of your how are they called?
Sales engineer.
Right, sales engineer. And he made us a quote. That quote was about really 2 million euro. And then then we thought we won't reply to that. This was, either he typed 3 zeros without noticing, or he did not understand. Or he thought DHL is that big company, but we were simply not able to. This was just too much money for this group of mine.
Right. A group within the company, not the entire company.
In fact, I am not the company. We are just a company in a company in a company.
Right.
So would that have been lower sum? We would have maybe a service contract by now, and all would be different. But this was just exaggerated, too much too high.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
right.
Thank you.
I've got to go, Marcus. Thank you. And
yes,
I'll submit this and send you a link to it. And
perfect. Thank you.
I'm glad that worked for you.
I'm too. See you in a month, latest.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I'll talk to you there. Bye.
Bye.